whisper it. Ooh, 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 toy rage.
You ready? You ready?
Sure.
It's beginning to look a lot like Toy Rage.
Everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go. I thought it was every single night.
No.
Everywhere you go. From
the little tons
the
of things
to the bigger stuff rings. It's beginning to look a lot like Toy Rage. That wasn't the song that we agreed on.
No. I was going to do...
Okay, that's my song. It's a holiday. We should do two songs.
Okay.
We should do two songs.
All right, I'm going to try to do my... what's the classic holiday singer?
Frank Sinatra?
No, he. I guess you can call him. But
Michael Bublé?
No.
Mariah
Michael.
Carey?
Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby.
My next guess was Eminem.
All right, here we go. Okay. Have yourself a merry little toy rage. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little toy rage. Let the Yuletide gay. Something, something, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days. Happy golden days of something.
Man, golden days really has a different meaning nowadays, doesn't it? Like a pee joke. That was wonderful. You were like four
gather
octaves
near
too
to
high.
us. Something near to us once more.
Can we get a round of applause for Andrew, please?
Years will
Oh,
will be together. If the fates allow, hang a shining toy rage cookie box on the highest bough and have yourself a merry little toy rage night.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was.
You're welcome.
That was lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. There it is. As for all the midnight lovers out there in Radio Land.
For all those midnight lovers in Radioland, it is almost 9 p.m.
Yeah. All those. That's like the midnight lovers in like an adult nursing home. Because 9 p.m. is practically midnight for them.
It really is.
So, Mike, happy holidays
Andrew,
and
happy holidays.
welcome to the Holiday Toy Rage podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm kicking shit on the floor.
I'm Andrew Delecky. I'm holding a beer. I'm going to have a second one. And I'm joined by...
Michael Gingrasso, and I have an Overwatch cookie bin.
And describe your garb.
This was a present from my sister. This is a Gryffindor Harry Potter robe.
Are you Gryffindor?
I just got these cookies. I offered you chocolates yesterday, and you brought a cake we didn't even eat. I offered you lava cake. I got you pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah. I got her pizza. I got her lava cake. All right?
Oh, fuck.
I got her so much stuff.
I want pizza.
Not from last night.
No. I heard
bad.
it was you resorted down to Domino's.
Resorted? You mean treated people to what's important in life?
Like, I don't understand. You live in the heart of like pizza land.
You remember
like we have the best pizza in the entire country in this area of the United States. Yeah. And you choose Domino's.
You know when we were talking before,
you can go to any
King?
place that has a stereotypical Italian name and it'll be better than Domino's.
Remember before when we were at Taco King and Dan's like, sometimes, it's not trying to be good. The movies aren't trying to be the next Lawrence of Arabia. Sometimes they're just trying to be like whatever. And that's what it is. Like Domino's is a bad movie. You just enjoy.
But there's so
Why do you hate Domino's?
There's so many good pizza places.
Have you had the chicken wings from
yes,
Domino's.
and they're not
Really
cooked.
Good. They're really good. That's why they're so tender, because they're not cooked all the way. And the lava cake, Maria, how was that lava cake? Lava cake was amazing.
Their wings are like
No.
they got the kid. They basically got the chicken picked last in dodgeball, and those are the wings that they use.
Yeah, cool.
That's the best way I can describe it.
I'm fine with that. So,
Mike, we have an agenda tonight.
yeah. So this is a very special week, and it's not just because Andrew and I actually saw like the same stuff, and we're not going in almost completely blind. We actually saw The Last Jedi together. We both confirmed that we watched The Veil, and I am halfway through Jean-Claude Van Johnson, which everybody should watch, by the way.
I'm going to just a preview to that segment. Everybody needs to go watch Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Yeah.
It's groundbreaking.
It is amazing. It is amazing. But before we get into anything,
okay.
This week on Caffeine is doing their Winter Festival.
Yes.
You can go to caffeine.tv, follow them on Twitter. Currently, they're trying to do donations, and they set up a little charity for SUDC, which is Sudden Unexplained Death in Childhood. Dude.
So, SUDC,
Yeah.
serious thing. And if you go to caffeine.tv, you can... Is there a link?
There's not a link to there, but if you go, you follow Caffeine on Twitter, which is at Caffeine, or you go follow us at Toy Rage. There is a link to donations, along with a little bit more information about SUDC. So take the time to go to Twitter, follow them, follow us, find the link, and go and donate. We already donated. Other people, I know that a wonderful streamer named Frodo also donated as well recently today. And of course, we thank everyone who's made the donations.
Open up your pocketbook and give a little bit.
And open up your heart.
Da-da-da, hello, man.
Take it away.
Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be... Okay, that's it.
That's beautiful. So, anyway, getting into something that, well, people are going to disagree with us on. Star Wars. So we both saw
Star Wars.
I was going to go see Star Wars The Last Jedi by myself, and then Andrew saw my messages, and he rushed over.
Well, because...
Regretfully rushed over.
You did it right. You did it the right way, which was we saw it at 9:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And therefore there was no crowds. There was no real pressure as far as getting to the theater. And
amazingly enough, you had to reserve the tickets. There wasn't a lot of free space left.
Right.
What's up, Dirty Grandpa? Why is one of your beers still... Because we haven't started talking about The Veil. Right now we're talking about... What's up, John? Right now we're going to talk about Star Wars. This is the Star Wars beer.
This is the Star Wars beer.
This is the Star Wars beer.
There's going to be a Veil beer.
Yeah, there's going to be a Veil beer. Veil beer.
Are you sure you don't want this?
I feel like I've had so many. First of all, this is like the first time John has been here in a long time.
Hey,
Same with
John.
Grandpa. So this is awesome.
Hey, Grandpa.
Hi, Grandpa. He's always...
Grandpa.
Yeah. So I actually had to go, and there was only one seat next to me. Now, I strategically... Ready? There was 3 open seats when I bought my ticket.
Seats.
No, there was 3 open seats when I bought my ticket.
Yeah.
I bought the one in the middle, hoping no one else would really take the other 2 seats in case someone else showed up, or in case whatever. Something about Keely. Keely's a great girl too.
Yeah.
But somebody bought the ticket next to me, and fortunately, there was still one more seat next to me. Other than that, the 3 rows that we were in, gone.
Yeah.
But everyone thankfully was respectable, except for the guy whose phone I sat on. I'm sorry. I don't think I farted on it.
I don't think he's watching, but
no,
you can put it.
You never know.
You can put it to cyberspace, and we apologize.
We apologize for that. I wish I could follow along with all the conversation that's going on, but the chat log isn't enabled yet, so that's just a little bit of shade being thrown. Sorry, John. So we saw Jedi early in the morning, and we saw the RPX for people who have that in their area.
Is that why the seat was vibrating?
It's better sound. It's like It's Regal's version of IMAX
But the seat was vibrating.
because of the sound.
Like,
Or you have a condition.
No, I thought they
You
had
might have a butt
a
condition.
PlayStation 4 DualShock
In
just
your butt? No.
all over the place in my butt.
No. Imagine how good it. Yeah, it's wonderful. Just
I like the
vibrating,
theory
butt
that
vibration.
there's DualShocks in the seats.
Wait, Kira Zig Arthur? Did he change his name?
What was it before?
I thought it was Chris A.G. Arthur.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I can't. I don't know.
On topic, Mike.
I don't know the mental pathways of weebs, but that's a different story.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeet. So we went into seeing Star Wars: Last Jedi with extremely low expectations.
I'm not going to say low.
Okay,
You
I went
had
in
low.
with low
I
expectations.
just went in thinking,
Not yet.
this is not for me, but I'm still going to watch it because of my opinions of 7. But
Yeah.
continue.
So my opinions of 7, me too. I didn't get it was not in the morning, but I from how 7 was, there was a lot of people going, "Oh, 7 was so good," and this and that. And honestly, I think they really didn't do a great job with the characters in 7. We talked about it like a week or two ago. I felt they put too much emphasis on Finn while not really developing his story. I don't think they put a lot of emphasis on Rey in the beginning until like the very end. She kind of like dipped in the middle, and along with a couple other things.
Oh, wait, Grandpa.
But this one,
Oh, wait.
yeah. This one, actually, I think they handled Rey and Finn better to my liking, where they put more of an emphasis on Rey and try to develop her more, because I think she's a better character than Finn.
Okay.
And with Finn, I think they just let him do goofy stuff, like go to a casino planet, because that's something that I think Finn would do.
He's the Han.
No,
He's the Han in our story.
he's like
He
if
is.
someone was like saw Star Wars and wanted to be Han, then that's who he was. But yeah, I mean, if you want to relate him to a character,
He's
like he
Han.
would be the Han,
You're right.
but not like seriously be
He's like-
Han. I don't want to make it sound like I think he's Han Solo.
No, he's
No,
not
no.
Han Solo.
But he would be
He's-
the role of Han Solo.
Yeah, he's the
But not-
archetype of
Yeah.
Han Solo.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes.
John's like,
John
fuck
left.
this.
Yeah, he's not hammered enough to handle this.
No.
So I did like the way that they handled that, but there was a lot of issues. It started off, I think maybe this is why I didn't like the movie too much. It started off on such an amazing way. Like the whole, yeah, they're in danger, whatever, shit happens. Just with Poe and like the first couple of minutes, how he's trying to get into a contact with,
Right.
what was his name? I kept Hux, with Hux.
Hux.
That whole scene, hilarious.
Very funny.
Very funny, very Poe, very Star Wars.
Very today. That's
was-
like
yeah.
today relevant jokes, which
Yeah.
is good.
It was phenomenal. How they took it by surprise, the little, problem trying to take care of the Juggernaut, the bomber, everything, and then like what happened because of the battle, like when Leia and Poe were talking afterwards, like that was very reflective of just like mistakes that can happen and trying too hard.
I thought that was the best scene in the movie.
That was maybe that's why like I was disappointed, because it started on such a high note. It started off so well, and then after that, it just starts to just dip hard. Like
For you.
for me personally. Well, I didn't know that it was dipping until the movie was over. It was kind of like in if you ever played Final Fantasy VIII, after you were done playing the game, you're like, wow, why was I in space? Like that's what it felt like. You're done with the movie, and then you just have all these weird questions.
And we had quite a bit.
Oh, we had quite a bit.
We'll go into the majority of them tonight.
It did have a weird pacing, and just the more the movie went on, the timeline didn't make sense at all. It felt like everything happened in a day, which to a point, it did happen.
Unfortunately, they caused a major movie faux pas, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They did the same fucked up timeline from X3 to Days of Future Past. They did the same thing with this movie, whereas they don't tell you when this takes place.
No.
And
After
it's
7.
it's really important
Yeah.
because
It looks like Finn has been out of it for a while. Like the way it was going, like I would say Finn at least a couple months.
Don't know. And that's a huge issue for me.
But I felt, you tell me how you feel. I felt that Finn was out for a couple months. Turns out this all takes place 100 years later. Yeah. It felt like from 7 to 8, it was a couple months. Based off of Finn.
The implications, I would agree. Because based on some of the conversations that they had when Finn woke up. Sorry, spoilers. There's going to be a lot of spoilers. So
all this is also happening in the first 20 minutes of the movie what we're talking about.
All right. So there's conversations between Finn and Poe about, you've missed out on a lot.
Yeah.
The implications of such is he's been out for a significant amount of time. I'm thinking, my first impressions, like 3 to 6 months. Yeah. That's the time span he's been out. That's where this movie takes a strong dip for me.
Yeah.
Because as the movie progresses, that's no longer clear. We don't know how long this is taking place, and there are overlapping timelines in this movie that make no sense.
Yeah. Someone also suggested saying, why didn't they start at Han Solo's funeral? Like, Han Solo died, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
In 7, he died, not 8. He died in 7.
Yeah.
Not a spoiler. There's just confetti. It's what it feels like. And sometimes in movies, there are like 2 different timelines happening, and they're not happening at like a minute-to-minute way. And you find that out later that they're not. Like maybe it's like a month off.
Right.
And that's okay. Which almost is like what it felt like when it jumps to Rey's story.
Yes.
Which I was like, I'm okay with that. Like, I understand that everything that's happening right now with Finn is happening on a different time than what's happening with Rey. Like, that's a feeling that I had. Because Finn was like, what happened to Rey? And then it jumps to Rey.
Right.
And I thought that was happening while he was unconscious. But as time goes on, you're seeing that what's happening with Rey is really happening at the same time with
the other
story, which means in 7, like Rey's story was happening quite a bit in the future because it took her a while to find Luke,
right?
Which causes more problems because when Rey, I mean, maybe this is a spoiler. When Rey is kind of done training with Luke, it takes that whole thing has to take like an hour, tops.
There's so much incontinuity there.
Yeah.
So you addressed one. When did Rey arrive with Luke? 2, how long did her training take? Because there's another major faux pas about this movie. Again, spoiler. They use a device that I think is very clever as far as using the Force. They have something called like a Force link.
Yeah.
And Kylo Ren and Rey have real-time conversations in the movie.
It's like they're using Jedi FaceTime.
Yes, they have Jedi FaceTime going on. The issue is, if we go by that, you throw out the months of Rey training. You can't use that.
No.
Because what's happening now with Kylo Ren is supposedly months after 7. Supposedly.
Yeah.
So her training, another spoiler, Kylo Ren and Finn's story takes place over a span of 18 hours. We know this. They said you have 18 hours or else we die.
Yeah.
It's very explicit.
Yeah, they're pretty forward with
Which
that.
means Rey's training takes place over 18 hours.
Yeah. But to a point, like, Rey never even actually trains with Luke. Like, it's like a little bit of training. But even then, like, everything was going good until the first FaceTime, but which, by the way, I thoroughly enjoyed. And I'm being completely serious.
I like that component.
What's up, R123? I really did enjoy all the Jedi FaceTime. I thought we're talking about Star Wars right now,
and there are
a little bit of some spoilers going on. I don't think we'll really talk about like major stuff.
Okay,
but A little bit. So the Jedi FaceTime that was happening between Ren and Ben. Rey and Ben. You calling Jedi Knight Calf? Calf is... Oh, what's up, Calf?
Oh, hi, Calf.
He's not a Jedi Knight.
Oh, hi, Calf.
Oh, hi, Calf. I heard you're in your Santa clothes. I saw the picture of you in Santa Claus, and it was pretty cool. But we're talking about Jedis, and we're talking about Jedi FaceTime, and I thought that was like a really good thing because it really built up like such a strong connection between Rey and Ben.
It will become a better character development tool as the series goes on. Yes. I thoroughly believe so. Because it's like we got a two-way walkie-talkie, and it's only going to them two. And I think that's a great component.
Thanks. Unsterblick.
Unsterblick.
There was an art store called Blick Art Store. It's good. And also Repenting is here. Unster. And Repent. What's up, Repenting?
What up?
Squad fam.
Squad fam for life.
And that's one of the other things. Like it seems like towards the end of the movie, like Rey just unfriends Ben from FaceTiming. Like she just hit that like
she said the unfollow button.
Yeah, she hit the unfollow button to Ben, and like it was this great tool. Like to a point, like they tried to go and they tried to address like Rey's parents, because even in the beginning, like Rey's parents is like a big thing with her,
right?
Like people, when I was talking to Dan said, in a conversation he's having with somebody else, that she's kind of like a Mary Sue. That's okay. Yeah, we give us like 15 minutes and then we'll be done talking about that, or an hour.
Depending on how much I have to drink.
But like with Rey, she really has no flaws at all.
No.
You know, she's perfect. Other than the parent thing, like what does she really have?
I think what they were trying to imply with the movie is that she actually has more of an affinity to the dark side than Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
But that does not mean she is a psychomaniac.
No.
She's very capable of good. It's just her force...
Her midichlorian levels are
her midichlorian shades are darker than lighter.
Than Ben.
And
Ben shades.
I mean, I get what they're going with it. I like everybody's like, oh, they take a new spin on the Force. I don't think they took a new spin on the Force. I think they just finally addressed what the Jedi and the Sith are.
I'm sorry. What was the spin on the Force?
Because, I don't know.
Okay, because this is what Luke was talking about. Luke was going around and telling her, you know, feel this, feel that, feel the opposites, and what's in between. It's the Force. It's it's the energy between things that brings balance. And that's the same exact lines, pretty much, that Yoda was giving Luke back in his training. So that's like nothing really new.
I don't think there's new. I think they called the spade a spade as regards to the Jedi and the Sith. They said basically, look, this isn't the Force. The Jedi isn't the Force. The Sith isn't the Force.
Yeah.
They're two religions with views on the Force. Mm-hmm. That's what they are.
And about how the Jedi just were complete mess ups. And that was like brilliant. Like everything that came from like Luke's mouth during his training was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Like how ridiculous the Jedi were. Like how they're just giant failures. How in the height of their power, they allowed Darth Sidious to rise and take over.
Right.
When there was like one Sith and like 1,000 Jedi.
Well, he just proved the fallacy of religion versus belief.
And also there was a good reference I read where someone's like, oh, this is why I like the prequels more, because of episode 8, where Luke Skywalker was talking. This is going to be a spoiler, not this part, but the part after. How when Mace Windu found out that Emperor was the Emperor, what did he do? Instead of doing the Jedi Council, he tried to kill Palpatine. He whipped out his lightsaber because he thought in that moment he could just go and end the darkness, like right there.
Yep.
And Anakin goes, no, this isn't the Jedi way. He stays alive. He goes on trial. And Mace Windu, who's this Jedi, like ultimate Jedi master, be all like, no, I'm going to end it now. And that's really what gave birth, like at that moment, Darth Vader.
Right.
Which is the same thing that happened with Luke Skywalker. Like Luke busted out his lightsaber, defying Jedi things, and just like you said, like a ship.
The nerd
done.
The nerd antenna is going crazy right now.
So Luke Skywalker did the same thing that Mace Windu did, and he gave birth to Kylo Ren. But the only difference is that Kylo Ren didn't see everything that was happening. It was just in context.
So I just want to interrupt you for 1 second because I feel like I want to get back onto one simple track here.
Okay. We're going too deep in the nerd cavern.
This is a nerd conversation. I don't think people have this conversation about Last Jedi. And that's why I personally do not think this is the best Star Wars movie, because I shouldn't have to go this deep into it to enjoy the movie.
No.
I don't think the movie even had these implications.
Like there are some parts that are like really deep, like what I was saying about like Luke's story. If you take all that training, it is so amazing and really brings out like the great things about Star Wars, which is then just like undone by Finn, like easily.
Yeah,
and just like the rest of the story, how purple hair was all like, again, spoilers. This whole thing, I don't even know why we're saying spoilers. This whole thing's a spoiler. She's like, in order for everyone to escape, someone has to pilot the cruiser. And then like 5 minutes later, it's her standing, not touching any controls.
I think, here's my opinion.
Sense.
I could have these same conversations with memes.
Yeah.
I did not need these movies. This movie to have this conversation. And that's also sort of my beef with it. It's not that in depth as people think. The movie I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not this whole universe. You can have this conversation for days, but it has nothing to do with this movie. Mm-hmm. This movie didn't spark these conversations. If anything,
it didn't spark the light of the resistance as hoped.
No, the movie itself, I found, was just sort of a mess.
Yeah.
I didn't think the story did anything.
No, it everything that the story did, it also to a point undid. Like the story provided balance in the Force. Everything good and bad. Like the movie was okay to me.
I agree with that. I don't think it's bad. I don't want people to think that I'm like, this is the worst movie ever made. No. I have seen that there's worse Star Wars movies out there.
If you want to think about it, there's what Dan said before. Critics are saying it's like a 96. Fans are saying it's like a 56. It's not a 96, but it's also not a 56. Like if you want to see this movie,
I'm going to give it like a 60 to 75 range.
Yeah,
that's where I see this movie really on the scale.
Because when it's Star Wars, Star Wars is so good.
Yes,
it's amazing
because
in those parts.
What's awesome about it is that there's such a philosophical element to the story now that you can have these conversations with people on a normal basis and use this as a reference to discuss ethics or moral behavior or even social commentary. Yeah. You can use it in all those things because it's been talked about and explored and it's been written about in fan fiction. But when it came to this movie, it didn't. None of these concepts are, I guess, new for the nerd.
No.
They're not new for the nerd. And that's why I also go back to this commentary that I say to you over and over again. I think it's a tough pill for us to swallow because we've grown up with the original three. Yeah. I don't think these movies are made for us. I really hate to say it, but they're not made for the 30... or I'm going to even say the 30-plus-year-olds.
Yeah, the philosophical part, I feel, was made for us. But everything that wasn't philosophical wasn't made for us.
We're not going to enjoy these movies. We're not going to enjoy these stories. We're not going to enjoy these adventures because we frankly don't think they're good adventures. No. We don't. We don't think it's worth it. We don't. I didn't think so. I thought the fact that I pointed out timeline issues with this, I think is a perfect example. I think if I'm a kid, I'm not noticing this shit.
And it's blatant. issues. It's not like when a nerd is trying to nitpick, like, oh, you see that? How on the date in the clock it said like 8 p.m., but really, if you follow the timeline, that should only be like 5 p.m. Continuity issue. No, it's like, yo, that girl slept for like 3 days, and that's not 18 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
the time doesn't go back and forth.
Like, how do you, within 18 hours, like, do everything that happened on the casino? Like, how does that even work? And they're
there's so much more we can go into as far as story that maybe we'll save it for one more week so more people can watch it. But story-wise, this movie was a mess for me.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the story. I enjoyed some of the philosophical points it brought up.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
like
some of the action sequences.
Yeah.
I thought they were the most close to accurate action sequences that we've seen in a Star Wars film to date. I enjoyed the first scene. But other than that, I find real problems with this story.
Yeah.
I feel like you said, they're noticeable. They're really, really noticeable. It's almost to the point you're like, who put the storyboard together?
Whoever did the veil. Which is a wonderful segue into the movie known as The Veil. So last week, Andrew went and he told me about this movie on Netflix. He goes, Mike, you have to watch this.
Tried. Let's make this completely accurate. I tried to tell you what this movie is about.
No, you told me to watch the movie. You did.
Yes, I did tell you.
And you did try, and then when I read you the summary, you're like, that doesn't sound right at all. Kind of like Deck the Halls.
Yes.
Where after you watch the movie, you read the summary, and it's like, no.
Not quite.
No,
that's not contest.
That's not what happened. No, you can't even get the summary of this shitty movie done.
And I want to clarify another point.
Go on.
I did not tell you this was a good movie.
No,
I wanted you to watch this film.
In all fairness, Andrew never said once, this is a good movie, you should watch it.
I said you should watch it because I have no idea what it's about, and I watched it twice. So I wanted affirmation that either this movie didn't make sense or I was really, really dumb. Mike, drum roll, please. No. What was the answer to that question?
I'm trying to do the drum roll that Val needs. Wait, what was the question?
Did the movie make sense?
No.
Or was I insane?
Both.
For watching it?
For watching it twice. You didn't understand it, so you went and you watched it a second time. Like, the Veil.
I had a little OCD moment. I had to know what it was about.
Also, if anyone does try to watch this movie, it's The Veil on Netflix in 2017. It's not The Veil on whatever else in 2016. All right, this is a 3.4 out of 10 rating.
Stellar already.
Yeah, already stellar. The IMDb full summary of this is set in a war-torn land where tribal factions live in fear of annihilation. The film tells the story of a deadly warrior leading a destructive war campaign when he is betrayed by his own. Oh, wait, see full summary. When he is betrayed by his own and left for dead, he is healed by a mysterious princess and taken in by a hidden tribe that believes was chosen to wage a final battle. Now that I watched it, that's what happened to a point.
Really?
Okay, he was betrayed and left for dead because the dude's like, give me the princess and I'll carry you back home.
And he didn't carry him
back home. He was betrayed and he was left for dead. And then he was healed by a mysterious princess.
I didn't see the healing.
That's when he was like in the lake and the girl came out of the lake and kissed him, and then he didn't have a knife wound anymore.
But it goes a lot deeper than that, though.
No, it doesn't. You think it goes deeper.
Because he's still on the shore.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, he goes in there and then he heals, and then he's on the side and he's healed. And there's a quick scene of like a girl kissing him, and he's fine. So, and then he's taken by a hidden tribe, which everyone looks like Luke Skywalker, and they're a bunch of babies. That he was chosen to wage a final battle, which doesn't make sense at all. Like, what final battle? There's like 8 of you. and you all don't even know how to swing a stick.
Not only that, there was multiple battles.
Yeah, and also in a war-torn land of okay, I don't know if it was war-torn.
No, it doesn't
Tribal
make
factions.
sense. That's not accurate because, all right, there's a spoiler for the Vale fans.
None of this is a spoiler. The spoiler is don't see it.
Okay,
that's the spoiler.
That doesn't make sense because at the end of the movie,
yeah,
he is back on the shore exactly where he started.
I know, and we'll get into why. We'll get into why.
There's no why. It doesn't make sense.
There's a why. This is where fan theory comes. This is where my fan fiction comes into play.
Oh, you're gonna tell?
Right?
You're gonna explain the story between the lines.
That's actually a wonderful saying between the lines for this. The veil, right?
Yeah, I had my moments of brilliance.
Yeah, I don't think that was an accident. Kind of like this entire movie.
We're down to 2.
Yeah, down to 2. This movie, I have no idea what was happening at first. If anyone's played Destiny, the Traveler, that's what it's kind of sounded like. The Traveler came like outside and like, everything seemed was going to be great, but like then bad shit happened. Nothing. There was no new age. The whole thing about this other world or other something showing up made no sense to the rest of the movie.
No.
Until the end where the two planets are kind of coming together.
Right.
And they're kind of like gradient blending into each other, where I think like everything's happening on one Earth. We'll just call it Earth for now, even though it's like a moonus. We'll say on Earth 1 and Earth 2, they're like coming together, which is where the veil comes into play. So he's like in a loop that happened. Like at the very end of the movie, it kind of like looped where he was on one side of the veil. Now he's on the other side of the veil. And it seems like he has to redo everything again. Like it's just a constant loop because the worlds are coming together. You're looking at me like it makes no sense. And I agree that it makes no sense. But that's what I think happened. Because at the beginning, he was healed by her. And then she's like, no, that wasn't me. But then because that happened in the future because a Moonus came in and the worlds did this thing. And then movie ended. You're welcome.
No.
First of all, you're trying to make sense out of a movie that doesn't make sense. Stop it. Go on. Keep going.
The bad guys. Okay, what were they called? The Dominion, right? Dominion.
The Dominion.
So what you're saying? They existed on both of these Earths at the same time.
It seems like both Earths are like parallel, but they can't touch. But they're becoming one, which is the veil that separates the two.
But the minute he hit the shore, he passed into the veil.
Maybe. But because then it looped around at the end.
It didn't loop around the end because how he fell to the shore was because he was bleeding from the wound.
Yeah, and that was in the beginning of the movie. And then at the end of the movie, it was the same exact scene. Same exact scene at the end of the movie.
But he didn't get hurt like that with the battles at the end of the movie.
No, that's because he went back in time. And it looped.
No, how? How?
How anything in that movie?
But the Dominion were in Earth 1.
Yeah.
They didn't exist in Earth 2.
That's because Earth 2 made a veil where things started to happen Look, this movie was absolutely horrific. The dad was trying to have one accent. The son was trying to have a completely different accent.
How did he transport himself from Earth 2 to Earth 1?
No, he didn't transport himself. The veil transported him.
So they all went through the pond? Like, how did they get to the...
No, just him and the princess.
But how did the freedom fighters, as like to call them,
I'm going to ask you one question. I'm going to ask you, Frodo, thanks for joining. We're talking about the veil. Let me ask you one question, right? Let me ask you.
You can't ask me a question about this movie.
Let me ask you this.
Because I have no idea.
Andrew, let me ask you this one question.
Okay, I'm listening.
Do you really care?
I wouldn't have watched the movie twice if I didn't. For some reason, I need to know.
Frodo, what was up with that ending? The ending made so little sense. I watched it with 5 people last night, right? You made 5 people watch that movie.
I'm so happy.
5 people. And at the very end, everyone's just like, what the fuck was that? And we rewound it like 3 times. And it was like, no idea. Like, Frodo wasn't really paying too much attention. She was too busy talking about wine to Victoria. But at the same time, she might as well have been paying full attention because nothing made sense. Like, she was asking questions.
Where was the divide between these two? I thought they were 2 separate worlds. Because here's the thing.
They were.
Mike,
they were 2 separate worlds.
They could see the other
yes,
world
but
from
the end scene,
world.
The end scene, they were together.
Right.
The end scene, they were merging together.
But before that, the Freedom Fighters had to get to the Dominion. Who's on the
other
world.
No, everything's on the one planet.
No, he went to another planet. That's the whole thing. You see, he looks up and he has a purple planet, and then when he's with the Secret of Mana tribe, the planet's the moon's a different color. It's the other planet. He went to another planet.
He crossed
through the pond of transportation.
He went through the veil. He went through the veil. He went through the veil.
How?
Magic.
He fell dead at the shores.
And then the woman who didn't heal him healed him. And then he crossed the veil again.
But how did the Freedom Fighters get to the Dominion?
Because this movie has a 3.4 out of 10 rating. That's why. This movie had the worst fight scenes, a villain that made no sense. Like, you have this daughter of his that is, like, perfectly okay not going home. Meanwhile, she is responsible for the slaughter of hundreds, if not thousands, of tribes and princesses.
Yeah.
Like, she herself, because she's for, like, no reason, it seems like, other than I didn't want to be here anymore. Like a stubborn little bitch, right?
What were the other tribes? We never saw the other tribes.
No, and how come, like I have no idea. Maybe they couldn't hire anybody else. I don't know. I originally thought that, like, with the whole story about the king being betrayed, I thought he was the king, where he went to the lake, he got healed, brought back in time to the beginning.
There's no time travel.
That's what I thought at the beginning. Like,
there's just
because
travel.
The talk. Yeah, between time.
Between two
time
different planets.
Between time and space. Like Looper.
Like Looper.
And then he said Looper was better.
And then he said Looper was better than Time Cop.
I'm sorry about
we
your
will
shoelace.
explain that reference in a couple minutes. But
you know what?
Let me just finish this.
Okay,
let me just finish this thought. I challenge everybody out there to watch this movie and explain what is going on.
Don't
like, give me an honest...
It's only a challenge you'll lose.
But I feel like it's a worthy challenge. I feel the best bullshit artists out there should watch this movie and try to explain it. Dan DeZamba, I challenge you to make sense of this movie.
Dan, don't do it.
Do it, Dan.
Here's the challenge.
Dan,
the equivalent of Andrew's challenge is having a plate in front of you with a piece of broccoli, and the challenge is eat the cheeseburger. But it's you in the room with just a piece of broccoli. That's the challenge. You're being challenged to eat a food that doesn't exist, which is challenging to explain a movie that has no explanation.
That's why I think
the only thing that's harder to explain other than the point of this movie is who funded it and why.
And why they thought 3-point stances were like
the thing. Like, my nephew loves the 3-point stance because he's a kid. All right?
Rocket Bunny.
This movie was just like, I don't even know.
I challenge. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Toy Rage challenge.
No. Andrew challenge. This is not being Toy Rage does not agree with this challenge in any way.
Sponsored by Toy Rage.
No, these views are separate from Toy Rage, and it's an entity in its own.
So I challenge everybody to watch The Veil, and I challenge you to understand.
Dan, just the holiday season. Be nice to people.
It's a good challenge. It's
Repenting, are you still here? I'm assuming, he's here because Rocket Bunny follows Repenting all over the place.
All right, beer too.
So, Wow, yeah, you didn't even open beer too. So, no, Rocket Bunny, stay. We need you for this. She left.
She
left.
Why?
Oh, that's fine. She'll come back. She loves
All right.
us.
Our last topic.
Okay, and
evening.
we are going to preface this by saying, do not watch this with kids under the age of 17.
Repenting.
Watch. As long as the kids are over 17, it's okay. There is this wonderful movie series that Andrew told me about. It's called
Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Yes. And
it is finally out.
It is out. It is 6 episodes long. It is on Amazon Prime. The whole point is it's Jean-Claude Van Damme's life, which is real, like his real life, if he was a secret agent and wants to go back into doing secret agent work.
I want to do my explanation.
Do it.
Jean-Claude Van Damme
Yes.
plays Jean-Claude Van Damme. But Jean-Claude Van Damme is not the Jean-Claude Van Damme that we know. Jean-Claude Van Damme is actually a secret agent that utilizes the persona of Jean-Claude Van Damme to cover up his operations as Johnson.
You're making it sound like Johnson and Van Damme are two different people.
Oh, they are, Mike. We know this. They're very different people. You have to watch the rest of the season, but it gets very touching. But it is the best premise to start what is known as one of the best self-mocking pieces of Jean-Claude Van Dammery there is.
This series is so good so far. I am halfway through episode 3. Halfway through, and I'm so glad Andrew finished it so that we don't have another faux pas like The Tick, where Andrew's like, oh, it's great for everybody.
No. This is truly a great series.
It starts off with a naked woman. So right off the bat, you know it's not for kids. No. Naked woman in the beginning.
And
first 5
and
minutes.
Theme
naked
song
woman.
of second episode is definitely not for kids.
No. The rave song.
No.
Not for kids.
No.
Not for anybody.
No.
Most people.
And go ahead, Mike. Go, please.
No, there's nothing. I'm just trying to think of that song. I know what the song is, but just
I don't want to sing it. I don't want to sing it.
I did at the end of episode 2 when it was playing on the credits. I did dance to it
because it is a catchy song.
Oh, it's catchy as hell. It's so good. Like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy it and just blast it.
Yes, go right ahead. Put the speaker outside your window.
Suck my dick. So, so the whole thing starts where he isn't a secret agent anymore. He gives a little backstory.
Yes,
and then it's his life. There's this model girl there, and she just gets out of the shower, and he's all kind of done with life. He uses a Segway to go get his mail.
He takes showers with
everything.
Coconut water.
All the water in his house, all the pipelines were replaced with coconut water. So he doesn't use regular water. It's all coconut water. All right. He goes to a ramen shop, which is a pop-up experience, and they give him it's just a pack of dry ramen that you would get for 49 cents. They put it on a plate and then put parsley on top.
Yeah.
And he picks it up and he tells the waiter oh, my ramen is dry. And the guy's like, you don't get it.
This is not really a restaurant. It's an experience.
Yeah. So, and then he sees his ex-girlfriend comes in.
Yes.
And
Kate,
Vanessa is something.
Trying to remember. Kat Hudson. Kat Hudson, I think is her name.
Okay. She's Vanessa in it. She's a cutie.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk. He's like, I'm so sorry. She tells him about the job that she's going on. He calls his agent, and right then and there, Van Johnson's just like, I need to get my girlfriend back. Let's go right back into secret agent work.
Yes.
And then the adventure is just absolutely, it is a golden adventure so far. It is so good. All the movie tropes, the way that he references all of his movies so far is fantastic. The first episode, holy shit.
What is great about this movie? It
like
honestly feels like a movie.
It's 6 episodes. It's 3 hours. So it's like a movie.
How this show is just acted, and the story, it is so self-mocking,
So good.
but it's so good.
He calls it. This is just wonderful. He calls his agent, and she brings him in, and she's telling him about all these movie scripts. Now, I don't know if anyone ever saw In and Out, starring Kevin Kline, but when they're doing the awards, it's all these kind of like funny mock movies, and one of them's just like, and Snowball in Hell, starring Steven Seagal, like just like something stupid, and she's pitching to him all these ideas for movie casts, or for movie ideas that he can star in, because she thinks
He would be great
he
for them.
thinks that she called him for to be in a movie,
Right.
Like just think of all. Oh, what's up, Kate? Like
Hello,
what's
Kate.
they're doing, like reimagined in an action scene, like in an action movie, and I'm having a hard time thinking of like what they were pitching, like originally. But the movie that he signs up for is Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn reimagined as an action movie.
And I can't, I don't want to go too much into it, but half of this movie revolves around the production of this movie,
Because that's his cover job.
And it is so funny.
It is amazing.
It is. I can't hype it enough. It is so funny, and you will not. I can't even express to you some of the things they go into with this show without spoil. So I'm not going to say anything. But
I think it's cool to talk about the first episode, because it's the first episode.
I mean, I don't want to go too much into it. It is so funny, and it is full of spoiler moments. I think if you are repenting, first of all, you would love this movie, this show. We keep on calling it a movie. It's not. It's a show.
It's an
Amazon.
experience.
But you will love this.
If you like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies,
you will love this.
This is a phenomenal one.
This is
because it keeps making references to it. Like, I don't know who came up with this. I'm guessing it's Jean-Claude.
He is truly the best actor in all the world.
Yeah.
Because you cannot. The fact that he got through this show on that script is incredible.
I know. They just redo the same jokes.
That one of my favorite characters in this show, his name Philippe.
And he's played by Jean-Claude.
And he's also played by Jean-Claude
When Philippe
Van
was
Damme.
in the first episode, was that played by Jean-Claude, or was it a different actor?
No, it was Jean-Claude.
It was? I got to rewatch the first episode.
So, repenting and everybody out there in interweb land,
yeah,
we cannot recommend this show enough.
No.
And I've seen the entire thing through.
Yeah.
I've seen it from start to finish. It is so funny and so much fun.
I am going to finish this and then probably rewatch it. If you watch it once, you'll see. So let's just give you guys a taste of like what's going on, just how wonderful this show is. Jean-Claude Van Damme has to break into a factory to put a tracker on some cocaine or some drugs. And the disguise that he's in, because he's old and he's out of practice, and everyone's telling him he's out of practice, he can't handle this. He's being, talked through his comms, and he's trying to hide from people. And there's just this one part where he goes, "I will not be seen." And someone goes, "Oh, hey." Like one of the factory workers, he goes, "What's up, Philippe? I'll see you later." And Jean-Claude's just like, "Okay." "Oh, hey, I didn't see that."
Oh, hi. Hi, Philippe.
Hi. And then he's walking through the factory and like trying to hide. And people are just like, "Oh, hey, Philippe.
Hey, what's going on, Philippe?
Hey, what's up? What's going on?" So
and we are not ruining this character yet.
No. Like, he goes and he's in the factory and he goes, "Oh, hey, what's going on? It's me, Philippe." And the person he runs into
it is
Philippe. And that scene is...
If you don't chuckle, you have no soul.
Yeah. Just the fact that he looks exactly like one of the workers and is just walking around is amazing.
It's so funny.
I don't think it's bad to talk about that scene.
No, don't. Don't spoil it for people. I know you want to. It's like it's there
because it's about time travel, and that's a recurring theme with us.
I know. I love time travel
because that's
you
actually
know
a good.
Nothing gets my nipples harder than time travel, Mike. There's your quote.
What
for
anime
tonight.
is this? This is Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Jean-Claude Van Johnson on Amazon
do it,
Prime.
Mike, don't do it.
Oh God! But that whole Philippe scene is so good.
So, everybody, you have this one is good homework.
Yeah,
Please
watch it.
There's support this because I really need a season 2.
there's one scene. It's in the beginning too, where the director is talking to Jean-Claude, and he goes, "Look, man," because Jean-Claude is like, "I have a problem with the way this is being like choreographed," and the director's like, "Look, I've seen your movies, and it is great. It is totally 80s, and your whole action sequence and styling, that's awesome. The roundhouse kicks, the splits, but we all know people don't really fight like that in real life. People don't go on like one by one anymore. You know, we know like real life that's fake. It doesn't actually happen." And he makes these like little comments about things that never happen in real life, and they all happen in real life. Like in the scenes where he's Jean-Claude Van Johnson and he's fighting, like all this stuff happens.
It's
like everything that happens in the movies actually happens.
The concept of the show is just so good.
It's freaking mind blowing. I loved in the beginning during the ramen shop where the ramen guy, the waiter notices and goes, "Oh my God, it's you. When's the next thing you're coming out?" He goes, No, I'm retired. And he goes,
not even straight to DVD?
Not even
any
DVD?
VOD?
VOD? Anything like that? He goes, No, I'm really retired. Not like Nicolas Cage retired. And the waiter goes, "I thought you were Nicolas Cage." And then later, like during the end scene of the restaurant, the waiter walks up to him and goes, "Val Kilmer?"
Val Kilmer.
And then he just walks away. The movie. We'll just call it a movie.
It's a movie.
The movie is freaking genius.
The serialized movie.
The serialized 6-part movie. And each episode is a half hour long.
It is. It has a good place in my heart right now.
It does.
I may go back and watch it again tomorrow.
I got to finish watching it tonight. After I clean up, I'm going to go watch it.
But I will. Here's a small. They make fun of the splits.
Oh yeah.
And you didn't even get to half of the splits.
It
gets even better.
The first scene is Jean-Claude saying, "I used to be super famous." And while he's in his house, everything says JCVD on it.
It's so good.
Have
you got to Marble Hands yet?
No. God damn it. I said before the podcast, I'm going to, try to set up everything real quick so I can go watch it. And Andrew's like, "I'm not watching it with you. I'll just spoil everything."
I can't.
Like
I've been self-regulating this entire time. You don't understand. I'm ready just to tell everybody every single joke in this show. But I'm being good. Even with alcohol on board, I'm being good.
How good
and
are
just
you being
a
right
good
now?
boy.
You're being a great boy. The best boy.
Thanks, Mike.
Well, look, I think this has been a great episode. We're coming to an end.
Oh, no, we have to
What
do
else?
one more thing.
What?
Because,
Is it open this loot box and find out what's inside?
Cookies.
Look at all those cookies.
One more thing.
What did you suggest that we watch?
I just wanted to say happy holidays to everybody. Because it is holiday season. And the next time we will broadcast, it will be after the holidays. So, happy holidays, everybody.
It'll still be during the holidays.
It'd be a day
New Year's
after.
is the holiday. It'll be there. You know what maybe we'll do? Oh, yeah, I watched the watching the PewDiePie review. I thought it was going to be funny. It was actually, like, really good. Like, pretty darn, like, insightful and honest. Like, he wasn't trying to be funny. PewDiePie did a review of The Disaster Artist. Wonderful.
I'm not going to watch PewDiePie.
Very not PewDiePie.
I'm still not going to watch him.
That's fine.
Repenting. I wanted to say Mike got me a wonderful gift for the holidays. I want to say thank you for my squatty potty.
You're welcome. How's your poop?
It's delightful. It just comes out like ice cream now.
So Andrew was he opened up the Squatty Potty and he starts reading the story. Like it comes with a little story. It's called "Who Pooped the Bed," and it is literally the exact episode of Always Sunny from Philadelphia called "Who Pooped the Bed."
Yeah,
because it talks about two roommates on a couch who live on a pull-out couch, and someone pooped the bed and everything else. I'm like, this is the exact same episode.
I love that they have a product that is so great, but they don't take themselves seriously at all. Like so my little Squatty Potty came with what Mike was telling was it's like a mini newspaper and has different poop stories in it.
Yeah.
And me loving poop humor, I love it.
And you wear a crown, a unicorn crown?
It came with a crown like you get at Burger King when you order like their version of a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
It comes with a poop crown.
It's fantastic.
And I may wear it every time I go to the bathroom because I feel regal with my Squatty Potty.
It's quite the gift. Remember the time you said you got me the Squatty Potty?
Yeah.
And you didn't?
Yeah, I remember.
Because you lied to me?
I forgot.
That's great. Yeah.
I did get you a gift. Don't insinuate that I didn't get you a gift.
Did you get me a gift this year yet?
I did.
But I didn't get it yet.
No.
Okay. I got to wait for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy holidays. And the next time we're going to broadcast is the 26th, the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
And for people who didn't get anything for Christmas, or didn't get what they wanted, I have quite a few unused Humble Bundle game codes.
Ooh.
That next Tuesday
we will.
I'll give a couple away. We'll give away a couple of games next week. So tune in. Follow us on Twitter. Yeah, that's a great time to follow up. If you want to get in on the giveaways and everything that we're going to be doing next week, follow us on Twitter at Toy Rage. Follow us on Facebook at Toy Rage. Follow us on Instagram.
Toy Rage Reviews.
Which Andrew updated today. It's
Victory!
Fantastic. Again, this is Caffeine's Winter Festival. Thank you so much. Go to our Twitter. Follow us at Toy Rage. There is a link so you can donate to the charity that they're starting. It's been going really well. It's going throughout the entire week, and hopefully we're going to try to raise as much money as we possibly can.
SUDC.
SUDC. And there's the website is there. You can read more about it, and it's something that a lot of people should try to learn more about. Bring awareness to it.
Yes.
It really is important. Retweet. Throw Toy Rage in the comments when you when you go and you donate, just so you know that, so we know that you listen to us, and we can give you a super high five, like a bro fist, through the
Broforce bro fist.
Can you do a bro fist to the camera?
Bro fist.
Just like Pootie Pie.
Did they do it like that?
Kind of, yeah.
He fucking took it from me. I never watched him before, so.
Gotti! All right. Everyone be kind to each other. It's the holiday season.
Yeah.
Get someone a gift. Don't tell them.
Don't cut people off on the road.
No. Don't tell people you're getting them a gift and then say you didn't actually get them anything.
Give someone else the last piece of gum from your gum holder.
Yeah. Buy somebody a month of Amazon Prime so they could watch Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
That is such a thoughtful gift.
It really is. It's phenomenal.
If you're not going to eat the other half of a sandwich and see someone hungry, give them that sandwich.
Yeah, give me the sandwich.
Mike is always hungry, so give him the sandwich.
I'm fat. And jolly. So I'll do it. And Repenting, are you broadcasting after this? If you are, you might be. Everyone also should go to Repenting's
Super Stream
show, his Super Stream.
Yeah,
he usually streams throughout the week. You can learn about repenting. He is a wonderful troll.
You can learn about old people things.
Yeah, learn about all the old people things. If you want to learn about younger people things in Europe, KAPH, KAPH.
If you want to learn about how to not be a whippersnapper, watch Repenting.
Yeah. He will tell you about all the times that he had to deal with whippersnappers and how to not be
whippersnappers.
If you want to see this European guy dressed as Santa Claus, go to KAPH Stream. That's also wonderful.
If you liked Masters of the Universe, you're going to love The Veil. That was my Netflix recommendation.
Was it Masters of the Universe?
If you liked any really good...
I thought you said it was Highlander.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you liked Highlander,
No.
you're gonna love The Veil. If you like,
Everybody have a happy holiday. Follow us, follow everybody else. Be nice to each other. Find someone, give them a hug. Maybe not.
Give them a hug.
Give them a hug.
Give hugs.
Give hugs. Hugs are free.
Hugs are
for
free.
Christmas, right?
Hugs are always free.
Hugs are free. And just be cheery. Andrew, was a wonderful night. I'm glad you talked to me about watching The Veil, and I hope everyone else out there watches Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
And watch The Veil. And
so until next week, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and
bye. Bye.
There you go.